And the race is just starting. Momodora is in Metroidvania, but before everything we have a cutscene that we always have to go through. It's like very short, we just need to match through. Kaho, which is this priestess and the main character of this game, she can roll, she can jump, she can double jump, she can melee and do melee combos, and she can also shoot arrows with her ball. So as you can see, rolling is the fastest mechanic in this game, like it's the fastest form of movement, at least as human. And there's also the roll jump movement, which you press the roll and the jump button on the same frame, and then you have like the speed and invincibility from rolling and the height of jumping. It's very good to maneuver through some areas. Um, this game is on easy, and you can see the difference between like both players' health bars. It's because they're playing on different versions. Jaddo is playing on the current Steam version, which is slightly slower than the version Googler is playing on. Googler is playing on 1.05b, and Jaddo has no timer right now. Wait, I'm gonna notify SG staff about this. There should be like he should have his timer on screen though. Oh, yeah, just to keep commentating while we do all of this. On Grove, we have to go and get 3 different chests so we can have 80 money. With money we can buy stuff in shops, and what we want to buy is an item that allows us to do more damage, 50% more damage for a few seconds to be precise. Regular is approaching the first boss, which is Idea. And for boss fights in this game, there's like 2 things you wanna like be careful of. First is that you need to do you need to not take hit during the fight, because if you don't take a hit, you're gonna get an item by the end of the fight. Guler tried to do the quick kill, he didn't get it. Is he trying to do it again? And he didn't get it again. There is a quick kill, both players attempted to do it and they both didn't get it. It happens. But you can kill Idea with one shot. It's a very precise trick where you hit all the 3 arrows from the charged shot on her ball, like on her pearl, on her tail, which does a massive crit damage. Also, the difference between their healths is because they're playing on the Reverie versus other game. On the version we used to play, which is 105B, which is the one Google is playing, we start on easy with full health. It doesn't make a difference in the run. We usually play on that version because it's faster on cutscenes. You can have a cat farm later in the game where you have to transform into a cat, and for some cutscenes, the newest version will automatically transform you into like human or cat depending on the cutscene, which is actually kind of bad and slow. Like, it's not super slow, but it's slightly slower. Also, Googler's on the second fight, and he's gonna equip the items he got right now. There's the crystal seed on the top left screen, and the other one was the Dia's Pearl, which is Dia's boss item, which allows you to poison stuff with your arrows. And when you shoot something, there will be a poison cloud, and you can even poison yourself, so you gotta be careful when actually maneuvering with it. But they're both pretty good in this game, so like they should be fine. The first part of the fight was Mocha. He can like do some very nasty RNG things, but like it should be fine. There's also 2 ways to fight that. Googler was doing melees, and Jaddo was mostly going for arrow strategies, which is safer. And yeah, like these players are going super fast. It's hard to keep up everything at the same time. So Lobella died on Jaddo's screen, which means he lost 12 seconds. It's like kind of an RNG thingy. It's the only attack you don't want to get, and he got hit, which means he had to reset the fight. So yeah, there's also like now there's this cutscene, and I cannot look at this card right now. I'm sorry. Like I'm communicating in a race. Like there's this cutscene we cannot avoid. This is Eri. There's not a lot going on there. Um, Let me talk about the second boss item, which is the Backman patches. Backman patches are very good. They drop lots of squares, which are the Backman patches thingy, and they do like lots of damage. You also use them like not in battle for a certain thing by the end of the game to like just save a bit of time. So it's kind of the most important item in this run, pretty much. It's one of the few boss fights it's worth resetting to like to save time instead of like doing the whole thing. Jaddo is making a detour in this area, which is the subterranean grave, to get a key he will use later. During this area, you have underwater movement. You're usually slower walking, so you want to roll as much as you can. And also there's lots of spikes. Even though this game is on easy, spikes will insta-kill you. Like always. They will always one-hit you. So you gotta be careful. There's like lots and lots of spikes there. Also there are bats they can spawn on opposite sides. Like if you came from the right, they're going from the left at a random height. It's like, yeah, it's very something. So right now, Googler is going for the third boss fight, which is Frida. She's a mosquito slash bird slash duck. Not the ducks are not birds, they are birds too. And yeah, that's it. Also, he hit a witch right there, because if he doesn't kill her, she's gonna jump into the fight, which makes it way harder than the usual. There's also two ways to beat Frida. The way Googler is doing with melee strats is the fastest, but it's slightly harder because you have to like dodge all of her things by reaction. And there's the safe strategy where you just like sit in a corner and shoot arrows. It's pretty effective at being safe, but it's slower by a whole bunch. The item you get from Frida is the Spark Strat, which allows you to do an AoE around Kaho. Like, the area of effect is actually kind of small, but the damage is pretty good. You use that a lot in the run. And now we're going to the next area. All these roll jumps, like, oh my god, Googler is super good at this game. Like, roll jumping doesn't seem that hard, but like, it's quite difficult to do. I will say, like, consistently. And Jaddo managed to go through Lubella, which is pretty good. Lubella can be like really annoying at times. Also, Googler just opened the door using the key he got before the boss. So this area is very short, and we're here to do a rematch against our most feared opponent, Lubella. One thing about this fight is that, as you can see, this arena has these spikes like around their platform, and the platform falls as Lubella takes damage. But like, you can fight her and defeat her very easily, and she can also dive during this fight, and it loses even more time. But yeah, it didn't happen. Googler is like zooming through this. Also, this is the only fight you don't care about taking damage or not, because the boss fight from this is kind of useless. You heal when you like kill something and you're like not killing lots of stuff and you don't really care about healing or not. And now you are a cat. Lubella like tried to curse you, and by cursing you she actually transformed you into the best creature one could be. cat movement is actually faster than human movement. The only bad things about cats is that they cannot climb ladders or use items in this game, except like the item that allows you to transform back into human. But yeah, if you're not trying to climb a ladder, or if you're not trying to fight a boss, you should be a cat. Cat is super fast. Oh, he got the cutscene hit on the box. Like, when you wake from that cutscene, you kind of wake inside a cage, and if you're fast enough, you have like 1 or 2 frames to do a melee attack on that, which is pretty cool. Also, this race layout was made by Googler, which is playing right now, so props to him. And this guy is Paramount. He's like trying to warn you of stuff. Sorry, I think I'm dying because I'm talking too much without drinking enough water. Remember to drink water, kids, it's super important. But what Giggler just did right now, he went through a room to see a certain bell. By seeing that bell, he can get a quest which allows him to teleport to that. Like, he's going on the way to this quest. Basically, you need to get 4 quests for this run. So, like, lore-wise, you need those to unlock a barrier and go to the castle. I might go more into like the lore of this game during the second race because they are going so fast. Like, I'm sorry. Basically, when you get the warp quest, you can warp between bells. You can warp from any bell to any of the key bells, and like, if you visit that bell first, it will save you a bunch of time that you need to wait to like walk all the way back after going in. So it's pretty fast. It's like one of the routing things that we usually do. Also, one thing to notice about Googler movement is that the best way to move as a cat is roll jumping, and then you cancel with a melee. If you don't cancel your roll jump, by the end of the roll animation, cat will lose speed and will just like do a small roll, like, and stop. So by doing a melee attack, you cancel that part of the animation that you lose speed. So it's like really fast. And this is the warp crest. Also, we got the first crest from Frida, and that crest allows us to charge arrows faster. Before that point, the fastest way to do more damage using arrows was to spamming arrows. But now, if you do half charged, you will do more damage. Jaddo is having troubles with Frida. It's like, Frida is one boss that can be really annoying at times, and we are at Simber Chambers at Giggler Screen. Simber Chambers is like one place that we don't see a lot about during like the any percent run, but it can be quite deadly in other categories. And we are approaching the arsonist fight. Arsonist is like insane. She's like the hardest boss in this game, at least to me. She has lots and lots of damage. And there's that knight helping us. It's Kaho's girlfriend. And for this fight, what you wanna do? Let's see how optimized this fight will be. Since it's Googler, he's probably gonna try to go for like the best thing ever. You can bait her teleports as he just did by making sure that she's off screen. And after every 6 shots, you can melee and stagger her. This is pretty good. You always want to finish this fight as close to the right as possible because that's where you want to go after this cutscene with Kath, and you want to be close to Kath because she has to walk towards you and tell you stuff. So, very nice fight from Jaddo. The item you get from the arsonist is the pocket incensory, which makes it so your attacks will have flame properties, but that doesn't apply only to melee, that also applies to arrows and backman patches, which means that Googler does an insane amount of damage right now. So He also got the third crest, which allows him to do air dashes, but that has small cooldown, which means you wanna like swap, like kind of vary between doing roll jumps and doing air dashes. And this is the cat room that has four caramel cats, 2 white cats and 1 black cat. This is an insane cat RNG. In this screen, we go there to get a key and to look at cats. You need this key to proceed, and cats in that screen, they will always have like 7 different, like, there will always be 7 different cats. Their colors and their actions will be randomized. So that cat RNG was lovely. And now we're gonna go to a fight that is pretty good when you do casually. And lots of people like the character a lot. But like during speedruns, you just like, you know, let's just say she doesn't have that much screen time in the speedrun. Let's go, this is finale. You go, you use your threads, you use backman patch, and then you kill her. Very nicely done. You can barely see her, especially because there's also the poison cloud. But yeah, I swear this fight is harder if you do that casually without boss items. But now we have all the crests, so you can go to the barrier and unlock that. The last crest allows you to have an extra arrow charge, which is the supercharge. Usually on the full charge you have 3 arrows, and this extra level shoots 3 or 5 in a straight line. It's pretty good, and when you combine that with the pocket eye sensory and other items that we have, it's just like amazing. Also, we get the missive, the tainted missive from this fight, which at the cost of 1 forfeit your max health, you can have 100% attack boost, damage boost for a few moments. And this is Pinecone City, also known as Royal Pinacoteca for the official name, or Royal Pinacolada, or Pinecone City, or Royal Pterodactylus, or Pythagoras Theorem. It's like, it's kind of hard to pronounce this in English, like the name of the place, because Pinacoteca is not like a well-known word. It's like kind of hard to like pronounce. I am pronouncing it right, by the way, because it's a common word in Portuguese, I guess. But like, let's go. It's kind of a pretty hard area to learn, but it's one area that you have to mix movement between human Cahill and cat Cahill a lot, and it's also super nice to be optimized. Glitter also got like made a small detour to get an item we need to unlock the true ending, and that is required for the any percent run. Now we're going to another fight, which is Lupiar and Magnolia. They like, it's 2 versus 1, it's kind of unfair. And it's one of the fights that can ruin runs because of RNG. Lupiar, which was that one person that we saw for like a few frames, she can roll just as you can, and that can ruin your day because she can dodge your attacks. Jaddo, not Jaddo, Googler just did that super nicely and got the heavy arrows. Heavy arrows double the damage of your arrows. Combine that with pocket eye sensory and fully charged arrows, and you have like a massive burst. And now we're going to we're finally going to the castle, because this was like the whole point since the beginning. This is the only thing Cal wanted to do, so she finally got it. Yeah, let's clap for Cal. Okay, let's go. Right now we're gonna reach another bell that is a key point, and we're also using backman patch to hit a switch that's not on screen. By doing that, we can leave before the animation ends, and when you go back to that screen, there will be a passage that we were trying to hit with that switch. But now we're going back to Wafer Leaf into Hibisco Tea, which has anti-solar properties. I have learned that in the previous hour during the last race. But by doing this, by bathing your leaf in Hibisco Tea, you get an upgrade that will allow you to banish evil, and that makes you stronger, but also make it so you unlock the true ending. If you do this game without getting this upgrade, when you beat it, the game will say that you didn't beat it. So if you didn't beat the game, you didn't finish the run, so you need that to like... You need that for any percent. Anyway, going back, now we teleport, and like the wall that was there is not anymore. So there you go. Ooh, that was really scary. Regular almost fell into the spikes there. As you can see, movement is really scary for this game. Like, if you miss a roll jump in like an unlucky place, you're actually gonna fall into spikes and like die. By the way, Kath is right there. She's just alright. She's fine. She's really tired after climbing such a huge castle. You know, it's like she was in heavy armor with a huge sword. Like, I don't blame her to taking a nap before beating up evil. And this is another mini boss. This is the Clone Angel. Um, it's another boss that you can like one hit. Like you can one cycle it, just like Googler did. She creates clones of herself, and you have. Wait, this is the yeet. There you go. Pretty good. Pretty good. Like the way you're supposed to know which one is the real angel is by looking at their attacks. It's different when it's the real one from the clone, but we can like check their heights, which was not intended, but it always works. And we are approaching the end of the run from Googler here. He's going like insane. Like he's an amazing player, but like his pace for a race, it's just like it's great. And this is the queen fight. It's usually 2 forms, like she has 2 phases, but since we're going for the true ending, we have 3. Also, let's see if Googler gets the 1 cycle first phase. Very good, very nicely done. By doing this fast first phase, he maintains his buff from the Tainted Missive, so he can also do the second phase quite well. Just like that. There you go. This would be like a very high 21, probably. Not a lot of players have sub 22, so this is like insane. This is like amazing. Let's see how he goes. Man, 2203. This was insane. Like, for fucking real, this is like amazingly good for a race setting. GG Googler. Now let me switch audio to Jaddo. So Jaddo just beat the arsonist and got the crest fragment. Now he's going to get the monastery key with the cat lady. He's pausing. I'm gonna like use this opportunity while all the games pause to like to tell people to crop his timer because it's not being shown right now. So just a second. Sorry for the minor inconvenience. Let me try. Turning up his volume a bit. It's very quiet. So Jaddo, I'm not really sure what's going on. I'm sorry about all this trouble. I hope you're enjoying the races though. It's like pretty cool. I think Jaddo gave up on the first race. I'm not sure. Um, uh, we're fixing like these tech issues. Also arranging a timer for Jaddo. Uh, please have patience. Patience is a virtue, as they say. Also, if you have any questions about this game, I will be more than happy to help you. Okay, we got this. We have audio back, which is a pretty good thing. The next race should begin shortly. Can you pet cats in this game? Depends on your like motivation. You can do anything you want in this game, as long as you really want it. And the second SRL room was just created. Pretty good. They are just getting ready. The cropping tools seems to be malfunctioning right now, so I will ask to bear with me, but like you can kind of have an estimate by looking at Googler's timer. But yeah, like let's go. If you were not here before, this is Momodora Reverie under the Moonlight. This is a Metroidvania where you can jump, you can roll, you can melee, you can double jump, and you can shoot arrows. You can also roll jump, which is pressing the roll and the jump button on the same frame to perform a movement that will have rolls, speed, and invincibility, and jumps height. It's a pretty tricky movement, but it's really good and important for getting good times at this run. They're going like really fast. This first area is not very scary when you're playing on... if you're playing on easy, but on higher difficulties, it gets quite annoying because you will have less health, down to 1 if you're playing on insane, and if you're playing on hard on insane, then there will be even more enemies. And those imps, they can like, they have random patterns, and it gets to the point of absurd, to be honest. Some of them will just like run really fast and ruin your day. You can jump, you can roll, you can do both, jump roll, and neither, walking. I guess you can walk if you want. I guess that's actually a possibility in this game. some say. Also, you get those 3 chests. The last one was hidden. Ha, it's a secret, don't tell them. But it's like, you get 80 money from them, and with these 80 money, you will buy an item on the first shop in this game. And we are approaching idea. Hopefully, they will get the quick kill this time. Which is a pretty cool thing to do, like, you just stand there. Idea can dance. If she dances, it's annoying, but like, Regular missed it. He tried to go with the buffer Q, which is easier to do and more, like, consistent, because as far as I know, he usually goes for the normal quick Q, which is super risky for the race setting. So, like, they both have different timings, so I feel like he might have been using the normal quick kill timing to, like, pause and unpause. Like, that happens. But yeah, Googler got the DS Pearl, and now he has poison properties to his arrows as long as you equip them. And there you go, now we have a timer on Jaddo's end too, on the right place, and you can see how they are going. And Jaddo also just beat Idea. You can also roll, chain rolls, when you roll more than once at the same time. Not at the same time, but like following. And they are very, very precise, but they, like, if you don't chain them perfectly, you lose a whole bunch of time. Of course, Googler is amazing at this game, and he won't ever miss one single roll in his life. But yeah, we're reaching the second boss fight again. Oh, he did unequip that. Oh, interesting. There's this strategy that's pretty good on normal and harder difficulties, where you just equip the poison, like the DS Pearl and the Crystal Seed, before you do your last melee at the beginning of the fight, so you can poison Mocha and, like, react to the first attack. So you can, like, do more arrows before it. But if you're on easy, you have an item that regens health. But if you regen health on the patch he's playing, it will actually count as he took damage. So yeah, it was kind of confusing to me because he wasn't at full health when the fight began. And he also didn't have equipped that before, so yeah, let's go. This ladder trick is really hard. It's, like, way more precise than it seems. Like, most people don't even go for that. In the meanwhile, Jaddo is going for Lubella. I wasn't paying too much attention. I'm sorry about that. Did he get hit? What happened? Lubella fight can be really tricky. Also, if you're thinking about learning about this game and start running, we have lots of tutorials on SRC Momo page. We also have a Discord where people are super friendly and nice. And we also have a channel dedicated to pets pictures, so if you have a pet and you want to post pictures of your pet, especially if it's a cat, then you can post them. This is the Subterranean Grave. It's an underwater segment, and when you're underwater, you can jump as many times as you want, and walking is even slower than normal, so you really wanna roll as much as you can. Yeah, and you're getting, like, a small detour to get the skill we will use later. Oh my god, that iframe dodge on Jaddo's screen. Holy heck. Googler is on a pretty good pace, by the way. These bats, they do always spawn on a different side of the screen. If you came from the right, they will spawn on the left, and if you came from the left, they will come from the right. Like, while where they come from is always, like, the opposite, their height will be random, and how they fly will also be random, which means they sometimes will be in your way when trying to do stuff. Luckily, Googler didn't have any problems, and we are reaching the third boss fight. Googler killed that witch right now, because if you don't kill her, you're gonna have to fight with her and the boss at the same time, and that's not a cool thing to do. It's like, it's kinda annoying. So Googler's doing melee strats, going super fast, zooming through stuff. I'm sorry, I was drinking some water. Googler got the Sparse Thread from Frida, which allows him to AoE in a small area around Kaho, and he also got the second crest. Wait, it's the first crest. Never mind. If you got the first crest, you need to unlock like the portal and unlock, like finish the game. The first crest allows you to charge arrows faster, which changes the way you fight battles. And you're now gonna go to the next segment. This one is really tricky. Like, if you miss the timing on your roll jump there, you're gonna get hit, which is not like too bad if you're playing on easy, but it's slightly slower. And you enter White Leaf Memorial Park, which is a pretty cool area, but it's quite short, especially in any percent. We're gonna fight against an old friend. Movement here is also quite nice, like lots of verticality. And what Googler just did is that he used the item as on the same frame he was trying to fall the ledge, which makes his use the item while he's falling, which saves a bunch of like less than a second, but it's some time. And he got a dive, which is unfortunate. Jaddo is still on Lubella. Why did I miss? Didn't Jaddo... Why? I'm confused. And she dived twice, but she was poisoned, so she took damage and died off-screen. This boss item is not relevant for the run, so you don't really care about taking damage or not. They beat Lubella at the same time. Yes, they did. He got Mocha. Oh, I see. So now you were a cat. Being a cat means you're fast, you're agile, you cannot climb ladders, and you cannot use items. And you're also super adorable. I really wonder, like, what made Lubella think this was a curse? I mean, if this is a curse to you, like, if being transformed into a cat is a curse to you, then it's like kinda, your morals are kinda wrong, you know? Like, that's not a good... I don't know. But yeah, you're now a cat, you can transform between cat and human. If you're not fighting or trying to climb a ladder, cat will always be faster. Googler cat movement looks insane, by the way. Yeah, the fastest form of movement is using cat and doing roll jumps with melee cancels right now. And the faster you do the cancel, the faster you'll be, as long as you take at least 3 frames to do the cancel. Like, if you're within 3 frames, like, you're gonna be slightly slower, but like, you wanna melee as soon as possible, and then you like can do an insane movement. Like, in races, you can usually check how good they are on cat movement by seeing how fast they can cancel their roll jumps. And you can sometimes hear like kind of a pull in the background when he roll jumps. If you don't hear that, it means he didn't get the roll jump. It's kind of hard to listen to, it's like a very bad sound. And there's the PB jellyfish. I don't think Jaddo can PB, to be honest. But there's the PB jellyfish, which is blasting his run with good luck, and this is something That knight is kinda like a nymph, except he has like his kind important because there's the mini boss fight when you fight against him, I guess. But yeah, we're now getting the second crest, which is the warp crest. I don't know how to count, that's why I paused it there. But like the warp crest allows you to warp between key bells. And as you can imagine, being able to warp between zones is a really good thing. Lubella didn't think the cat would be dexterous enough to attack with a leaf. That also makes sense. Lubella was underestimating the person that literally killed her, an ancient witch. Interesting. But yeah, we're reaching in the room. Let's see if Jaddo. Wait! Oh, Googler almost missed the one cycle in this frame. That would be scary. But he managed to do it just right. And he also got the crest. Yeah. Now we can keep going. He's going to the Simber Chambers, fight Arsonist. And Jaddo just beat Frida, very good. As we say, Frida is a dumb drinking burp. And by we, I mean Jaddo and I. Like, I started saying after Jaddo made a picture of like Frida being replaced by like a dumb drinking burp thingy. It's kind of hard to describe actually. But it's like, it's literally Frida but as a plastic object that you can use to drink water. And there you go. Arsonist. And Calf. Calf is an angel by the way, she's like amazing and she helps you. And even after she helps you, you usually want to say no to her, which is very rude. And means that you are a roach. Oh my god, that was scary. He tried to melee too fast, so it was still not the right time to actually be able to stagger her, but it ended just fine. And Arsonist moved as soon as like he finished the fight, which is kind of unfortunate, but at least Calf is close to him. Help is up to interpretation. If you cannot deal with Calf's help, it means you're doing it wrong because Calf is perfect. And there we go, we got the Pocketing Sensory, which adds flame to our attacks. More like explosive really, but like, yeah, let's go with what the game says. And that makes our attacks, our arrows, and our backman patches way stronger. Googler's cat movement feels so much more aggressive than Caho. I feel like he's so very used to cat. The way you move in this game, like, your movement options in any percent and AVIP, they change a lot. Like they outside like until the mid game, the way you move is different. So Googler pretty much got pretty good with both, like with every form of movement. Like I'm not sure if he would consider himself an AVIP main, like something like that, but he got like way better times in AVIP than in any percent. But he has like really impressive times in both categories, to be honest. Like he's... Let's go! Fair now. There you go. Fenao is dead, and you got the last crest. The last crest allows us to do an extra charge when you do arrow shots. And the boss item was the Tainted Missive, which at the cost of 1/4 of your max health, you can do 100% more damage for 15 seconds. Which is amazing, to be honest. It's like, combined with the other items you have, this is just great. Sorry, I took a sip of water. Where did the white lady vanish to? There was never a white lady. I don't know what you're talking about. I think it's kind of a glitch where like there was supposed to be a fight there, but like devs forgot about it, and then it just like it starts the boss fight and then it ends instantly. But yeah, like maybe it's like some very dark reference to like something. Is Final missing number? Yes. That kind of suits her, to be honest. And Gular's making a detour through Pinecone City to... Oh my god. No, the paintings. Okay, we're fine. To get the sealed win, you need the sealed win to unlock the through ending, which is required to finish an any % run. That is intended, don't worry. Oh yeah. Oh my... What? What did just happen? Oh my god. There's also a safety save right there, but like... if you don't get the boys item during this next fight, it's not super bad. It's bad if you're trying to get like the word hacker or something, but you only lose 15 seconds in the run, so like it's not too bad. It's like better than resetting the fight, really. And this is Lupiar. And this is Magnolia. And that's it. They both had more screen time than Fennel. But yeah, lots of menuing right now. So one thing that's very interesting about that fight that Eugler just did is that he used the Tainted Missive before the fight starts, because if you take damage by using that item, you won't get the boys item because it took damage during the fight. So yeah, it's like a very neat strategy. And he also used the first Beckman patch before the fight starts, so when the fight starts, Lupiar will be stunned instantly, allowing us to manipulate her at least a bit. And now we're unlocking a hidden area by shooting on a switch that you couldn't see on screen. I usually want to take all the way through another path and then unlock that switch, but like, we don't have time for that. We're trying to do this fast. And now we're taking the detour to upgrade our leaf. We bake that on Hibiscus Tea. And that has anti-solar properties, which might imply... No, never mind, it wouldn't make sense what I was gonna have. What I was gonna say made no sense at all. But yeah, like, Hibiscus Tea is used as an anti-solar cream in some, like, somewhere. I have learned that recently. I'm not able to confirm that information though, so I might be lying to you right now. But yeah, now we're on Kair's Castle, which is the very end of the game. We don't see much of the castle, since this is like any %, but there's lots of pretty cool platforming things we can do here. In other categories you can see more of it. It's like, it's pretty cool. And there is Kath. She's alive and healthy. She's just tired of climbing like such a huge castle with such huge heavy armor. Jaddo is fighting arsonists in the meanwhile, and Euler's going to the Clone Angel fight. Clone Angel fight is... like, there's one very interesting thing about this, is that we know which one is the real angel by looking at their heights, and the closest to the ground is actually yeet! Sorry. I need to do this every time someone does the yeet. Even when I'm not watching, I just like suddenly, it's involuntary. But like, the way we do to know which angel is the real one is actually not intended. And when one of the dads was watching a run of this game, they were like, how did you know which one was the real one? We didn't show you the way. Yeah, which was kind of funny. But yeah, Gular is reaching the final boss. This might be like a mid 22, I would say. I'm not super sure. I'm pretty bad with estimates, but I would say this would be like a 22 if everything goes like right, like a mid 22. He got the first phase quick Q super nicely, and yeah, he's going through the second phase. Like, Oh my god, he's like zooming through this. And Jaddo is having one of the best cat RNGs ever. It's like 4 caramel cats, 2 white cats, and 1 black cat. And the black cat really likes Cat Cajo. This is great. There we go. 22:10. This was like amazing for Googler. Like, getting times like this in race setting is just insane. Like, not a lot of people has 22s and or low 22s. It's just to show like his consistency, to be honest. Like, it's really good. GG for Googler. Now let's switch to Jaddo. Jaddo is reaching Finale right now. Let's see if he gets the quick kill. No! Okay, this will be scary. Finale is pretty fast, and like, what happens in this fight is that you want to get close to her and like use 2 threads, and when you do this you trigger her second phase, which is even more deadlier. Like, she's even deadlier, or even more, I don't know, even more deadly. Any native English speakers in chat, please correct me, but like, she's really fast and it's really strong. But yeah, just got the last crest. Wait, is it gonna finish earlier? I don't know. Okay, he's going. So, he's going to Pinakateka, which is one of the coolest areas in this game. Like, it's pretty hard to learn, but once you like learn it, movement is really cool because you keep switching between human and cat, and you have to do all these small tricks. It's really nice. It's probably one of my worst segments in this game, but like, it's really cool to run it, even though my pizza instinct tells me more deadly is the correct one. I think it's deadlier, actually. I think... Oh no, spikes! This area is pretty hard. Like, there's lots of spikes, there's lots of skeletons, and they do, even in easy, they do a whole bunch of damage. I think on normal, depending on the attack, they might be able to one-shot you or almost one-shot you, but I'm not like sure. But yeah, deadlier. There we go. Thank you, Heiho, for the English lesson. But this is a pretty cool area, to be honest. I find the music one of the best. It's kind of too low right now, the volume, but like, bear with me. It's a pretty good music. But I could like try to sing the song that's playing on the background right now, but I don't think you would like to listen to it. But like, let's just go on only with commentary. And there's the sealed wind. Use it to unlock the Hibiscus Steedor. Sing it. Okay, I give up. It was a good attempt. It was actually not a good attempt, but okay. Jaddo is getting the safe to save. It's pretty good to save there. In case you don't know how to do the back, like, after this boss fight, this next one, there's only the queen. So if you don't get the boss item from this fight, it's not too bad, but it requires you to know the backup strategy, or else it gets really messy. So if you don't know the backup strategy, it's really worth to not, like, to just get the safe to save, and like, being safe is really good. This fight can be hard, like, this fight can be super tricky. The cat didn't make through the gap. What a catastrophe! Oh my god. This is a good cat joke. I approve. A Lupier triple roll there, which can be really scary. Okay. Jaddo had to use 2 threads, but he didn't get hit and finish the first phase really, like, nicely. Just have to be... Going melee, oh god. Magnolia, why? Magnolia's strats, like, Magnolia's not super hard, but being able to do that fast without rebels is usually, like, usually get that if the first phase went well. Usually we'll have at least one thread for the second phase, so you can like one cycle Magnolia. If you can't one cycle her, it can be messy because she can teleport and she's like super sneaky about it, and like yeah, like Magnolia is not too hard, but she can be tricky and she can do mean things to you. I don't think that's an oh my god, Lupiar, why? Lupiar is evil. She's not being like very nice today. This is a pretty title screen. Okay, Jaddo taking a moment to like breathe. This game is not too hard to get into, but sometimes like boss fights can be tricky. And you can see Googler practicing arsonist on the other screen. Because this boss is dumb and practicing it is good. Practice makes perfection, as you can see on Googler's screen. Yeah. Loop. Oh my god. The puns. There is this thing where if you take too long to move after using the second patch, she actually has a higher chance to like do rolls and evade your stuff. So like you kind of wanna jump and like do your thing as soon as possible against Lupiar. Like you wanna cast you're gonna cast the second Backman patch and jump as soon as possible to the fight and use your threads. It's kind of scary because depending on stuff, you might not be able to see the screen well. Like at least when I do that, I can't see the screen well because I usually use the fairy together, which is not very good. Like it doesn't really do anything in this fight. But, like just muscle memory from using patch, I guess. Um, but yeah, like she can be at like lots of different positions. So you kind of like the safest way to do this is like waiting to see where she is when you're trying to jump behind her, but at the same time this can mess you up. And the range for this attack, oh, the range for that attack, like that knife Magnolia does, is very, very dumb. She can hit you like kind of further than her sprite shows. It's annoying. Oh, Googler got the hangout with Calf. See, she's one of the best characters in this game, one of the cutest. And she was the one who took initiative to ask Kaho out. Yeah. Resetting 20 times for the switch 15 seconds time saving point. I mean, I don't think he knows how to do Queen without heavy arrows. Which might be problematic. I do believe that it would still be faster even without knowing backup strategies. But it's kinda hard, like he got it. Jaddo was one player that got back into this game just to like for the tournament. So he's like slightly rusty. I like to imagine that Kaho using the Tainted Missive looks like her making her hand bleed to release rage. I actually think this might be really close to reality, to be honest. Because like, um, if you consider, there's two places in this game where you can get tainted missives. One is from Fennel, which is where we get during the run, and the second one is like also in the monastery in a spring close to the giant bell. But like on that screen close to the bell, there's like lots of corpses and evil spirits. But when you get that from Fennel, you can see that Fennel was like full of rage when you fight her. She's like, "Get the fuck out my monastery, you heretic!" With a gun that got nerfed into a sword. But like she's really angry, and maybe that was the rage. And you can get that. Like, it doesn't make lots of sense what I just said, but like I do think it's like the rage consuming her. And that's also why you have to take damage should you use the item. And we got the infamous Hibiscus tea leaf. She bleeds from hand. It does look like it too. Like she does that shush. Like it's the same from almost every item in the game that she doesn't have to pray to cast. Like if you use a healing item, she does the same. Or even the cat crystal, it's the same animation really. Maybe there's red particles when you use. I'm gonna try to pay attention to check like if the tainted missive actually shows like red particles or something, because that's actually would be super sweet. Is there a way to stop the force of nature? That is Google. Round 2 races would be way closer. Like round 2 races would be super scary. Yeah, it's the same animation, but the red particles come from her hand. Let's see. Jaddo is about to get to the angel fight, and we can check that. Cat cow is so cute. I wish I was a cat. Let's go. Oh, there is red particles coming out of her hand. Dang. F flashing shot. She's a genius. Props. Will Jaddo go? Oh yeah, baby, yeet! We got this. I love this oh no! Die in the catnip room. That room is like the worst. I hate that room a lot. I always die there. By the way, is there an interview after this? I'm not sure if I have time for it, but if we do, we will. I love this. I love calf animation like all shy. Trying to invite Caho. They are adorable. I love them. We have 35 minutes left. Oh yeah, so we have time for interviews. Yeet! Yes, I will say that every single time. The elevator of doom, and we are approaching the end of this run. With heavy arrows, which means Queen fight will be good. Also, I love this cat movement. It's just so great. Like if you hold one direction and try to move to the other, cat will behave very weirdly. And you can also moonwalk as a cat, which is pretty good. Just shows cow skills. That cat jig is just too good. Let's go. Oh, Jaddo went for the old queen strategy. That strategy is way harder than usual quick kill on the first phase. Like it's way harder and way more precise. Finding the new queen strategy was the thing that saved lots of runs, because like if you're on PB pace, you usually be kind of nervous at this at the start of the run. And like doing something as precise as that, like oh god, when you're like on nerves, dang, it's quite something. Thank you, Double Stop, for finding the ultimate queen strategy. And there you go, the third phase. Also very interesting how Jaddo used the crystal seed there, since he lost the buff on Tainted Missive on first phase. That was really well used of that to make the second phase faster. And there you go, GG 37-19. Lots of problems, like on some fights, but it was still a good run. Oh my god! Blushes invite Heiho. Aw, such a cute couple, I ship you two now. But yeah, this was pretty good. Pretty good run from both players. Let's see if we'll have interviews. GG to both players. Ah. Worst tells what even my place happens. I want pizza. This is good. Hello, Googler. GG
Hey.
on your runs. Both of them were like really good. Like getting consistently low 22s is not for like anyone. How do you feel about your runs?
I feel good. Was definitely a little shaky. Something that I have, just a little issue, is I'm very like doing this, especially back in the relay. I was very like nervous, regardless
Yeah.
of like where I am in the run. So there's a lot of points where I was like pressing buttons too fast, or tripping up a little bit. But
nerves are
shrugged
always
that
like.
off. I shrugged that off pretty well in the second run.
It was pretty impressive, to be honest. Like in both runs.
Thank you.
And like even with all nerves and stuff, you still did great. And I'll ask someone comment. I think it was Plush. Your movement as Cat is so impressive. Like in Cat form. Like
thank you, Plush.
That was really nice.
I don't know. I like to think of myself being a little more acquainted with cat movement instead, or excuse me, human movement. I think I was just having a good cat movement there. I definitely am implementing a couple of new strats this turning. Not like new strats, just stuff that I have yet to practice. I need to utilize the roll jump cancel more. Sorry for interrupting.
Even in boss fights, you were doing like you mostly use it. Mostly is actually, I would say that you use every single best strategy in this game. I would say, like even Finale new strategy with dashes and one backman. At least I consider that kind of risky, but you did that anyway, and I was like, hey, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, boss strats like that are just, you have to keep practicing it until you can like get it down mentally to get the commands out, because it's very quick. But I think the first portion of that strategy specifically, I think you can be a little slow in the second half of it. I don't know where, but or I don't know how, but I found myself being able to recover from any mistakes I make in the middle of that strategy compared to the double Bachman.
Interesting. I feel like double backman, depending on your position when you're like going to cast them, that can ruin everything, because if you're too slow, if you go too far away, she can like use her thunder attack and stuff, and it's really sad. But even then, like with only one, it gets even like harder, because you gotta like keep doing damage and doing lots of damage really fast, because else she like you cannot stagger her twice. You have to stagger her on once and finish her. I find that that one backman strategy is just so impressive execution wise. It's like amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely doozy. Well, thank you.
Any more thoughts about like the race and the tournament and message?
Not too much. Hopefully I can come over my nervousness a little bit. Really,
Tournament
I think
nerves.
that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, tournament nerves are always there. Like, especially in this game where most strategies are super precise. Playing with like while you're nervous or anxious is really hard.
Yeah.
But you
No,
managed
yeah.
to do it. Like, it was amazing.
Yeah, I won't say I didn't get scared at a few moments though, like the wrong teleport to Karst, that first run.
Hello.
Hello, Jaddo. GG on your runs.
Yeah, good game.
Thank you. Oh, my nerves were a complete mess.
Yeah, I had the same thing, dude.
It happens. It happens. I remember watching you the other day, and you were saying like how Lupiar would be very annoying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was practicing it earlier and it was giving me good luck, but this time around, no. Yeah, congrats on your win, Gula.
Thank you. It was fun playing with you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So you have like any thoughts about like your runs, about the tournament? Anything you might want to say? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty happy with that. Yeah, I'm a little annoyed about playing so bad, but I really do enjoy this as a speed game, so and I do want to improve my time. Yeah, that's mainly it.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun speed game. Like it can get very stressful at times, but it's like it's one game that's kind of chill. Like you do your thing. It's not like it's pretty hard to optimize, but like it's still a fun game. But yeah, I think that's it. Anyone else to say? Anything else to say?
That's all.
Good.
Thank you.
I want to thank you both for joining this race. It was like super cool. I am not sure if there's like about other races going on in speed gaming right now. I know that speed gaming is translating like the ESA events in like their non-English channels in case you want to check one of them. And here I depart. Tomorrow we'll have a race between Heiho and Shelly. I don't remember the time. But you can see on schedule. Also remember to follow the runners. But yeah, thank you all for watching this race. It was super cool. And see you all later.